Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThATuMBRELLAgUy. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me. I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me. I'm a man.
Well, hello there. I'm on the wrong side. Gosh darn it.
Oh my gosh, man. What kind of lip abomination are you trying to perform here? I swear.
Well, I just want to have some sexy lips. Can I tell you? I got
pretty together.
We are so pretty. Oh my goodness. So pretty.
God, Megan, we are gorgeous. Oh my Lord.
I decided everyone else is doing it, and you might as well get the work done. I could maybe even get a job in the Trump administration now. I mean, I look just like Kristi Noem.
It is super califragia breadsticks expialidocious. I love it. Yes.
So what inspired my new lips look is that I got some fantastic fan mail today. And Diane sent me wax lips And if you would like to see me, you want to see me in them? You want to actually see me in the lips?
Of course, I want to see these.
Okay, because they are so pretty. Oh my gosh. All right, here we go. I posted pictures of them on Twitter, which I understand that I am now basically just admitting that my professional career is never going anywhere. I only will be able to go into comedy after this, but and you have to do the crazy eyes with the lips or it doesn't quite hit the right way.
It's beautiful.
I took many selfies in the mirror. And then also check this out. Look what I think this is from Crystal. Look at this awesome fan mail I got today. It's a crocheted fox. I'm using it to warm my bottle of whiskey.
That's actually beautiful. You know?
I know, and it's sitting right next to my wooden spoon. How cool is that? And I think, Crystal, I think this is from you because it came from the company that I had my PO box at. I think they opened it and then they just put it in the box and then put the envelope on top of it when they sent it to me. And I was like, well, they put two things in the box. So I'm like, well, which one's from who? I couldn't tell. So anyway, I think it's from Crystal. Anyway, thank you so much. But yeah, look at this. Look at these lips.
That is so beautiful. It makes me want to sing my song, Megan.
Sexy.
Should I?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Happy birthday, Mr. President.
Happy birthday. President.
Oh my God, I'm so pretty today. Oh my Lord, that was beautiful, man. By the way, this one goes out to you, Mark. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God.
All I know is it better be somebody's birthday today because I worked really hard on a new birthday
Yes, we have a
song.
birthday song, so somebody better have a damn birthday that they freaking
last night
they
there
asked
were
for a
like-
song for today.
There were like 5 of them last night, and I had to sing all awkwardly by myself, and I was like, never again.
Well, you know, I actually have something very important to go over tonight, Megan.
Oh, really?
It is from my new law firm.
Oh,
You know, it's
mine
yes.
too, by the way. Mine too. I'm
Okay.
being represented by the same firm.
Okay, well, we have a we have a press release, and I'm sure that all of the folks out there would really like to see this, right? I'm sure they would. Well, even if they wouldn't, who cares? Because it's still going to happen. This is our wonderful press release here, right?
As
this
we decided to go with bullshit frauds and cahunts, LLP.
Yes, that is a wonderful, wonderful law firm. Very respected there.
Very
You know,
very
yeah.
respectable. A bunch of sharks in this firm.
Yeah, that's
Sharks
right.
with
That's
big
right.
teeth.
So lovely. Specializing in fake lawsuits since May 2025. Yes.
They may be new, but they are very good at this.
Yes, that's right. If you did not hear their first defense for everything that's going on, well, you missed out. On Wednesday, Just J-Hip actually got out there and he read the very first item. And, you know, there were some people there, but we needed more eyes on it. So I decided I would make sure that I read this today. You know, they're also the official sponsor of Mary Lincoln's, which I heard Mary Lincoln's was someone else, but I can't even remember who it was now.
Oh, the expert. The expert.
Expert, that's right. It slipped me. Mary Lincoln's has been so many people. Oh, I don't know. What is it, like possession or something?
Like possession. I was just going to say that. Get out of my brain. I was just going to be like, yeah, she hops from body to body like a disembodied
It's like that movie, The
spirit.
Shocker. Have you ever seen that movie back in the day?
Yeah, where you touch somebody and it goes into
it
that
jumped
person.
into their body.
Yeah.
Horace Pinker. I love it.
Isn't that also how that Marvel character works? The alien one? What is that? I want to say Predator, but it's not. It's the alien that eats
Predator?
people's heads. The alien that eats people's heads. The Marvel one. Not predator. I just wanted to say
God.
that. I don't know why. What is it? What's the one? You know, the
I don't know. I
Marvel-
can't even think of anybody you're talking about after you said the predator and set me up.
No, the Marvel character that rips off people's heads and eats them.
Venom?
Venom does
They
that
made a
too.
toy of him back in the day. They had to remove because, and I loved it. I've actually got one of these somewhere around here, but they removed him because at Toys R Us, parents had a fit when you push the little talk button on him. He said, "I want to eat your brains."
But that's
so
what
amazing.
he does. Why do people have?
I mean, back in the day, but between that and Marvel, at one time decided that they would have like a very heavy metal sponsor for Wolverine. He has you should look it up. It's this band called Entombed, and they did a song called Wolverine Blues. I would play it now, but I mean it's amazing. Back then, things were wide open. They were really interested. But filed via PDF, Panic and Pettiness. So this is the press release from Maya
Cahoons Esquire.
Senior partner at BFK LLP, certified in Canvas and Chaos. RE Perse power move. Yes, as I said, if you're going to bring in somebody, you don't want pro se, you want Perse. That is the only way to go.
Only way.
And if it's really good, it's not perfect, it's perfect. So
yeah, it's absolutely perfect.
Yeah, this looks like a perfect way to really break things in. So, subject: Just J-Hip to represent Tug and Megan Fox in bold pair say action. Cahoon says the court will hear from our shape-shifted side. Oh my God. Orange County, Florida, in a landmark escalation of an imaginary litigation, the law firm of Bullshits, Fraud, and Cahoon LLP is proud to announce that our per se affiliate and honorary deputy of litigation, Just J-Hip, will now be representing both that umbrella guy, aka Tug, and journalist Megan Fox. Now, this announcement comes after extensive vetting, including a vibes-based credentialing process. Of course,
I love that part. Vibes-based credentialing process. Yep.
Gotta have the good vibes. You do. Yep. Dramatic reading of J-Hip's X threads, of course. Yep. That's gotta happen.
And this is my favorite one.
In a blindfolded trust fall performed in a Waffle House parking lot. That's amazing. That is the way it needs to play. Quote, Just J-Hip has the courage of a man who's never opened a real legal book, said Amaya Cahoons, proudly wearing her certified Canvas litigator badge. That's great. A certified Canva litigator. Man, I've always wanted that. He has the grit, the gall, and the Google Docs access required to lead this case to absolute confusion.
That's exactly what we need, by the way.
Is.
Absolute confusion.
So the case objectives: flood the zone with screenshots. Yep, I'm there. Rebrand hearsay as hearsay. Yes, that is important.
Yeah, definitely. That's a must.
Mm-hmm. Defend freedom of speech, expression, and live stream side eyes. Yeah, of course.
Definitely.
Possibly sue a podcast for tone. Can we sue somebody because they're like...
I'd like to sue them for assaulting my ears with their phlegm constantly.
Assault and fattery. Oh my God, that would be amazing.
Gordo theft auto.
Oh my God, assault and fattery. That's great. Every now and then you say something that even makes you laugh. with clients are fully committed to justice. Doug by anonymous narration, indeed. Megan Fox by public records, sarcasm and subpoenas. Miss Fox was quoted as saying, quote, Jay Hip may have not passed the bar, but he did pass the vibe check. That's good enough for me. That's almost what you just said a minute ago.
Yep.
They have a prognosticator too.
Yep. They're pretty good at this.
Yep. Legal note. J-Hip is not technically a lawyer, but does have good instincts and a clean hoodie. According to sources close to the situation. That's Mary Lincoln's and Chester.
You know what? I heard that Chester might be consulting. He is a retired lawyer. So.
Well, that's what you need right there. I mean,
yep.
You know.
And not permanently retired, just regularly retired. So.
Oh man, today has been fun so far. Amaya Coons adds, I have to be careful how I say that here.
I know.
We're not here to win. We're here to be loud, dramatic, and slightly misinformed. Yes. Justice is a journey. We're wearing wedges. Oh my God. That's amazing. Oh, look at that.
Oh, wait. This is the fax. The fax machine is jammed with fan mail, by the way. Don't try to send any faxes. Office is, wait, what is the office is located just off exit 69 next to the vape shop.
Man, you gotta have somewhere to start. Man. That is amazing. That is. Did you, oh, by the way, catch Just J Hip's live? If you didn't the other night, I mean, it was very important. So.
Did I catch Just J Hip? What?
On Wednesday? Yeah.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Let me see. I think I've got that here.
He read your first filing in the case.
Yeah,
it was
I think I've got that.
Freaking tastic.
Again, I want people to definitely tune in and watch it, you know, and also to make sure that when all this stuff is going on, that part of this is laughing at the stupid. I mean, you think about how dumb this litigation has been. So we definitely need a little bit of laughing at the stupid.
For sure. Check the private chat in a sec when you have a second.
All right. Give me a second. Oh, that's cool. I suppose.
Do.
Let's put on our clown shoes there. So we say here, this was the wonderful one. And in the Circuit Court, 9th Judicial Circuit, Orange County, Florida, there would be Leslie Federico's, a.k.a. Lips, a.k.a. Hot Lips, a.k.a. Failed Lawyer, a.k.a. Not nice, a.k.a. not a nice person, a.k.a.
You are not a nice person.
A.k.a. files bad lawsuits. Funny.
That's amazing. Versus That Umbrella Guy, a.k.a. Tug, a.k.a. Mathin. Mathin. Yep.
Well, you're good at math. You're just doing all the mathin.
Yeah. You got to get that right. And it's an Hipster, a.k.a. Horse Face Hip, a.k.a. Pearhead, a.k.a. Walnut Sized Brain, a.k.a. J-Hip, a.k.a. Ray Hip, a.k.a. Mary Lincoln's, a.k.a. J. Hipshire again, a.k.a. Disgusting to Look At, a.k.a. Astro Surfer.
Astro Surfer.
Yeah, this is his filing, by the way. Yes. Yes. Beautiful. So, dear judge or magistrate, as he said, he said it's not about politics, by the way. He must make that clear. But, with everything politically now, you've got to make sure that you loaded it up for the magistrate.
Right, because mag is in. So magistrate works.
So you got to make sure.
You got to cover all your bases.
That's what he said. So this is the opening part. This is the opening part. That's what it's called. The following is my motion to dismiss with prejudice and award counterclaim bucks of dollars for all attorney costs to Tug and J-Hip. That's really good. Bucks, and I like it. Bucks of dollars. This lawsuit is frivolous and quite stupid. Yeah, I agree.
And quite stupid.
Leslie has made dumb
quite-
timelines.
I
That's
wish
true.
quite stupid. I wish quite stupid were an actual term of legal art. That would be fantastic.
Quite stupid is amazing. There. She's made dumb timelines, and that's true, by the way. Anyone has kept up for real. Like, oh, joking aside, the timelines there, I mean, they're fabricated. Like, it's very easy to go out and look at. Anybody that's watched this play out, they can see it. I won't fill in all the blanks, but we did fill in a couple of them. You know, like her saying this started on May 16th. That's when the Hodunk Hillbillies. No. You were already creating them well before that. So it wrecks your whole timeline. But also false narratives. And has been quite the overall bee. Well, furthermore, Doritos is presenting this stupidity to the court. They should both be locked up in the prison. I like that he said in the prison too.
Right to jail, right away.
Let's continue. Let's see. Yes, right away. Indeed.
Right away. Right to jail. That the entire filing can be summed up in one button.
Right to jail, right away.
Yep.
Which I
think
definitely
that's
believe they all deserve. Jail. Nothing but jail. Straight to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Straight to jail.
Now here in section 1, part 1, is the first and most important thing is that Tug and J-Hip are actually really nice. Man, that wins them over. That's
a statement of fact right there.
Also, J-Hip enjoys watching Tug's YouTube streams. And if he goes to prison, J-Hip will be bored. that is the perfect defense there. This will just lead J-Hip to begin making more content about Leslie out of boredom and anger. That's true. I mean, God, you know, you see the chain reaction. That'd be terrible. Also, Leslie F. Is completely not that nice at all. She calls J-Hip a horse face and also said Tug looks like a butthole. Oh, man, that's mean. I'm hurt. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
So mean. She also put out a video of J-Hip where she claims that he represses women. Oh, how dare that, J-Hip?
How dare he?
I'm telling you. Well, we obviously know that can't be true. I mean, have you seen him? Well, women are going to let him repress them. What's going on? I mean, come on.
Wait, does it say repress or repulse?
It says represses. So section B, part 2. We have section 1, part 1, and section B, part 2. Yes, very good. Very good.
Very good. Very, you know, it's concise. It follows all the steps. Going straight from number 1 to section B doesn't set off my grammar OCD at all. It doesn't make me want to tear my skin off in any way. Just you know what we're missing here are some square bullet points.
Oh man, you know, next time we can. I mean, it is your law firm. We can request them. That is true. So it's very logical in this situation to just blame Jeremy. Of course, you know, everything is clearly his fault. And he told everyone what to do. He's a magnet for stupid people and psychopaths.
Well, that part is true.
Very true. Unfortunately, in a very short time on YouTube, he was quite effective in sending all the idiots over to hump J-Hip and Tug's legs. Don't make psychopaths hump our legs. He's like, however...
like crazed chihuahuas.
Yes, we don't want that. It's not a happy birthday, Mr. President. However,
oh God, I just realized I should have added chihuahuas to the birth fig montage. Darn it.
Oh no. How could you forget? Well, there's always time, right?
There's always next time. Yes.
However, in this situation, in this case, we can blame Leslie's parents for making her. We could possibly blame the condom companies. We could blame Trojan, for example. Yeah. Were they out of stock on that faithful day? Was Planned Parenthood closed? Was it a Sunday?
Oh, God.
Regardless, though, clearly Tug and J-Hip are not responsible for Leslie's existence. that is true.
That is undeniable.
Mhm.
Factual.
Tug and J-Hip are simply dealing with and reacting to her stupidity. In all honesty, yeah. Tug and J-Hip should be given medals in this situation, as they've made comedy out of this desperate cry of, "Look at me!" you put on display. Yeah,
Also true.
Yeah, very true. Man, this actually sounds like there's way more truth in this than I was expecting. Yeah, there's another part here. Now there's the last part. It's literally gold. The last part. Of course. Section C, aka the last part. Now, this is the most important part. This is the hard-hitting portion that has lots of teeth. Man, you're ready for this, right? J-Hip and Tug are requesting summary judgment order on the grounds. That's grounds with a Z, by the way, because that's how it is. Grounds.
Grounds.
Grounds. That this is stupid. That's right. There we go.
This is
we
stupid.
Need summary judgment for the grounds. This is stupid. The court should award J-Hip and Tug attorney fees and damages in the amount of $10 million. Yep.
Absolutely.
No, I agree.
100%.
Mm-hmm. It is also requested that the court put Leslie F. in prison for bothering J-Hip and Tug with their nonsense, idiotic behavior, and completely garbage dumpster fire of a lawsuit. Yep.
Yep.
It is requested that Leslie F. be banned from being on the internet ever again. And she is damaging everyone's brain with her content. I think that's about it. But the woman is a dumb. He said, "See you next Tuesday."
Yeah.
He is also Jason Hipshire ESG. His bar number.
The elbow room.
He didn't know the phone number, but that's his bar. That's where he likes
they
to
go
get
to the
drinks.
elbow room every weekend. For people watching, if you want to find J-Hip, you can find him in the elbow room literally all the time.
He was like,
or sometimes Kensington Street.
Yeah, he was like, "I don't know their phone number though, so I can't give you the bar number." I'm like, "Well, I'm in this thing, right?" It was okay.
Yeah,
it was very good. You have to admit that right there. That is one of the best that we have seen so far.
It's definitely better than anything Leslie's filed.
Yep. I have to say that was amazing. So
for his first go at a legal filing, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 12. Wait, no, I almost said out of 50. Maybe that's an I'm rating it right. Now, talking about real lawsuits for a second, there's something that kind of interesting that came up. You remember the compelling discovery, the whole argument about that? Remember so there was a deadline today
to compel discovery. There was. The deadline is still not over.
It is today. That's what I say. Question mark. Are they really screwing this pooch? I mean, to be honest, they could file something last. But here's the thing, though. Unless they turn over some actual discovery, they have a real problem. Because again, remember, their answer to everything was to file bullet points. I'm sorry, they didn't file square bullet points, did they?
Oh God, I hope not.
No, but they put in boilerplate, like for real. I mean, if you look at it, it was terrible. They did a horrible job of.
They basically just said we don't have anything, and then they filed stuff with exhibits showing they do have stuff.
Yeah,
that is not going to play well. We'll see what happens. They have until midnight. They have until the end of the day on 6/26.
I have a feeling they are not going to turn anything over, even if they made some type of file. Like they've made it clear they don't plan on turning anything over.
Yeah, I agree. They're not going to turn anything over. And it's going to be a real problem for them. It's not going to go well. I don't think the judge will have any choice but to sanction them. And again, their ex-attorney Bruce, who thinks that, he thinks that he's, that people saying things about him are somehow damaging to him when he did these things, right? He set them up for this failure because when he was their attorney, he should have communicated to them very clearly that they are obligated to turn over things in discovery. And he didn't. He allowed them to do what they did. And he gave them the false impression that it's okay to just basically thumb your nose at the court and not turn anything in. This is his fault. It is absolutely his fault. He gave them very bad advice. And I'm telling you, if Lynette knew what she was doing, she would go after him for bad legal advice.
Yes, very bad counsel. I mean, for real, they have been put in a jackpot with this, and to be honest, as we've moved forward, we're noticing more and more people, they make this case about themselves. And without including her, again, if they're part of the case, I mean, that obviously they're going to be included in it. But even she right now is like, hey, wait a minute. I've been dropped by the wayside. What's going on? Like she threw an absolute.
None of them are even trying to help her anymore. They're just all out for themselves. And creating all these new characters for their storyline or whatever. But they've completely dumped her. What have they done for her? What exactly are they doing for her?
Well, apparently she was not very happy about the way things were going. Now, she's done a little bit of damage control since then, but still, even in that, even with it, she was still throwing fits about it. It was actually quite interesting. I caught some more interesting talk. I might pull that up. I'm not sure if I'll pull it up tonight or if I might pull it up another night. But some of her statements about, I don't have to shut up. These people, what's up? No way. I'm not going to. I have a voice. And yeah, I mean, she does have the ability. Now, I would caution against saying stupid things, I would caution.
I'm all in favor of her saying whatever she wants to say. Say it.
She says it's all the truth. Okay, well, to throw it out there, have a go at it, I suppose. But the deadline on all of this is tonight. Let me pull up that document. Actually, I'm not going to. This, I don't know how you don't turn this into an epic screw up. I think they backed them into a corner no matter what. But Randy, just to make sure that we can follow what happened here. Randy on document 152, he put in a plaintiff's second motion. I'm not going to read all this. We have looked at it, but if you did not catch where we talked about this is a huge filing because it talks about discovery or the lack thereof. Again, we're being told all the time by people that they want to present their case, they want to present all of the evidence, they're going to show everything that happened, and they presented nothing. I mean, that's the kicker. If they have all this evidence, they're that shows X, Y, or Z. Why didn't they turn anything over? But
that's a very good question. And if they don't have the evidence, which is what they've said they don't have it, then how come they attached a bunch of it to their filings? And who told them to do that?
Yeah, there was a document that John Cook filed. He filed the big bad summary judgment push. And when he did, he actually attached communications to it. Now, those communications, they haven't been turned over for discovery. So there were brand new items that no one was aware of, apparently. You didn't have, Randy wasn't aware that communications with whatnot were going on. You also don't, I mean, you think about that.
That was so bad. That was one of the worst things I think we've seen happen in this case was Bruce's communications with whatnot. So inappropriate, so damaging. And now we know that Jeremy's contract with whatnot was not renewed. And if you think that did not happen because of what Bruce did, you're wrong. That is absolutely what happened. Do you think any company wants to be harassed by an attorney threatening to sue them? and threatening that like Jeremy, that this man that they have a contract with is some, litigious person who's going to drag them into lawsuits.
No, that has been also on top of it. They said that he was being accused of being a certain type of predator and more. I mean, they put these words in there. Again, anybody that thinks that that's okay, by the way, imagine that aimed at your livelihood.
And Bruce gave Whatnot the impression that they were going to be pulled into this lawsuit. He absolutely gave them that impression. And I mean, from a liability standpoint and from just mitigating their own their own issues, they don't want anything to do with that. No company wants to do business with somebody that they think is going to have them having to go to court.
Yeah. It's just wild though that they were having communications outside of the scope. See, he threw a fit when he was added to communications. He acted like that was somehow inappropriate when Randy added him to communications to show him everything was above board. There was nothing going on. He can disagree with what's stated there, but instead of doing that, he decided to go after it on his own. And I mean, that was wild.
But Randy was actually asking, he was asking for the thing Bruce wanted, which was the copy of the contract.
He was also stating that communications, these people should not be communicating with them about contracts and more because there's nothing, nothing has been filed that allows them to do so. And apparently they were having communications anyway, which is pretty jacked up when you think about it.
Totally. I actually think that Whatnot is really at fault. They should never have spoken to some random attorney about one of their contracted, clients. Basically, Jeremy Hales was their client. They should not ever have had anything to do with Bruce and his communications. They should have just said, we have no comment on this, because what business is it of theirs what Jeremy is involved in, what lawsuit he's involved in? It didn't have anything to do with them. They should never have spoken to him. I think Whatnot did. I think they acted really stupidly.
Actually, I wonder if they acted beyond stupidly.
I think they may be negligent. I think they may be,
Yeah, that may be a problem when you get down to it, because you're not supposed to discuss contracts with other people. Yeah,
I mean, Jeremy, if he signed a contract with them, that contract is non-disclosable, right? It's private. It's between the two parties, and they're not allowed to just disclose that to anybody. I'm sure that there's some sort of non-disclosure agreement inside a contract like that.
Well, they were definitely having communications, and again, this was not turned over, and we know. So this was document 138, and on the back of it, this was supposed to again be the end all. But unfortunately, when they presented, first of all, they presented it when you weren't supposed to be presenting anything. So automatically, like, that was stupid. On top of it, you threw this stuff out. You allow the other side to know what's there, and you presented it before discovery closes. So it's yet more ammunition to say, hey, wait a minute. What is this crap? Where did this come from exactly? Because you haven't turned it over. But you can see the communication. This is
and like, why is he giving all of this information to this random person, this stranger? Whatnot has conducted a search for a specific contract between Whatnot and Jeremy Hales to be discussed on call. Well, how are you discussing this with a person who is not a party to the contract?
Yeah.
How does this not open them up to a lawsuit?
Oh, I would sue the shit out of him for something like this.
Because, so would I.
I would, for real. I mean, honestly. And again, I'm not saying that he is or isn't, but I would be pissed that they discuss any, because again, that's private business. This guy could be anyone, any asshole anybody out there whatsoever.
And he is someone who is harassing Jeremy Hales. He has been harassing Jeremy Hales since last March. So what?
It's such a mess. It is such a freaking mess there. You know, Fed 1. Whew, God. I mean,
So Yamaha Biker wants to know, is this even real? You know, that's a good question. That's actually not a bad question. Is it real? I don't know. I guess the only way to find out is to subpoena these emails from Whatnot directly. Because would I put it past them to fabricate stuff like that? No, I wouldn't. I don't know if they did or not, but it is pretty easy to spoof an email.
It is, but hey, you know, they filed it. I'm going to take it as real until I confirm or deny it, regardless.
Right.
They're presenting it as it. If they're presenting fake evidence, that would be its own problem, you know?
Well, you know what? I think this Michael Walks or whatever, I think he, with this email, he's made himself a witness in this case.
Oh,
we
yeah.
need to know.
They had a call outside of things.
Yeah, we need to know what happened on that call.
This also could open up some potential issues for Fed too, you know, because the discussions over that. Fed too, by the way, that filing today. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I guess we're going to discuss that a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Attorney
you know.
Attorney Weeks is filing.
Yeah, you mean look at all this defamation defense.
The woman who is often mistaken for a lawyer.
Oh man, that's amazing.
Wait till you guys see what we found in that.
Oh my God,
it is funny.
It's something else. It is, you know, it is a very bad fun.
Hilarious.
You know, and Fed too is in the make or break portions again. What'll happen with it? I have no idea. You know, these cases, you don't know in the early times, but I have to say, if that filing today is any chance, oh God, what a mess. What an absolute disaster. That's why you hire a lawyer. I mean, come on, let's be honest. Anybody that's out there, pick up a fucking real lawyer. Don't think that you're going to pro se or think that behind the scenes that you're getting the best advice. You should have counsel on record.
Oh yeah, I mean, this case, this is not a small claims case that you can handle by yourself in front of a TV, in front of a TV judge. You know, this is going to be complicated.
It's not just that. If you fuck up, I mean, you lose big. You know,
Yep,
you lose big.
I mean, isn't Lisa being sued for like over $500,000?
Yes, I mean it's a huge that, you know, all jokes and everything aside, they should be standing behind lawyers and presenting the best defense that money could buy. You know.
Yeah, like think about it. Like, what's $10,000 to get a good motion or whatever in relation to 500,000?
Yeah, you know. You try to get yourself out of the madness right off the bat, you know, because if you can't defeat this case early on, you have a real problem, you know, because Fed too, that's where you've got to win it. You've got to win it in the beginning, you know. It's really with most lawsuits, period, but this one especially, they got to win it in the beginning, because if you start getting into discovery, holy crap, you've got a problem. You put these people in front of you put these people in front of a jury. that would be a nightmare. I mean, for real. They need to finalize something. And, you know, unfortunately, there has been terrible advice given to all these people. I mean, we saw that in letters that were being passed back and forth, you know, with people that shouldn't be giving legal advice to anyone, but that were. And that's a mess. By the way, folks, there are almost 3,000 of you here today. Appreciate all of you being here. If you would, let folks know that we're live. And also, if you'd like to hit that subscribe button, do so. Hit the like button as well. And if you'd like to go further, if you'd like to drop ye old breadsticks into ye old dipping sauce, we'll definitely do so.
We will use our sexy lips to eat them,
Oh,
and we
man,
will
just-
enjoy them.
I mean, just imagine how do chewing sounds? It'd be like, yummy breadsticks. It's good. See, wasn't that great? I admit. Next time maybe I'll get you some breadstick crunching sounds. You know? It'll be amazing. Oh no, there's no background. Pff, there we go.
What happened? There's our beautiful Muppet Theater.
There we go. It's like the power went out for a minute.
Perfect.
So the thing that I was talking about though with the timeline for discovery, so we had an order off of give me 1 second. We had an order off of Randy's filing. This is what came up. Now, we get the back end of this is what matters. So plaintiff has filed a motion requesting, leave to file second, a motion to compel discovery. We already got that, right? We've had our one part of everything that's going on. All right. Well, the second part of this, one part right here. Each defendant may file a response in opposition to the second motion to compel that does not exceed 16 pages. So they have the ability to come in and to try to fight document 152. And document 152 is damning. It is. That is, again, that's today, by the way. If they go in to try to rush them, I don't really know how you defend not turning over anything. I mean, it is. It is an absolute mess that they have made here, or really that somebody that's no longer on the case has helped make. I would go with that. But this, again, I was talking about, we have been trying to get answers. We've been trying to get discovery since November. That's what this said. For nearly 137 days, both defendants have avoided fulfilling the most basic discovery obligations, including by refusing to search for and produce all responsive documents, even after the court said, hey, do that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's crazy. Now, they put in, like December here, but it started in November, according to this thing. And when you read through, what you find out is that for specific items, there was almost nothing turned over. And then when you get into this portion, I thought this was really telling. Moreover, defendants do not appear to have ever engaged in collection, professional or otherwise, of all potential sources of responsive information to the request for production, number 5, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 18, 19, or 20. When they were asked about that, and again, when you look at the items here, like request for production 4, which states we need all documents or communication concerning the steps you have taken to preserve documents and communication relevant to this lawsuit, including the documents and communications responsive to this request. They said there are no responsive documents.
And then they go and attach some of them, the documents that would be responsive as their exhibits.
Yeah.
It's unbelievably.
Well, some of it, the stuff that they apparently, if I'm reading everything correctly, they're not even turning over the names of all lawyers that have been involved with the contracts for that or more. They don't want to turn over anything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's bad. I don't know what argument that you could make that would defend all this. See, here's despite plaintiffs seeking information since November the 12th, 2024. So, since then, they have never provided plaintiff or the court with an explanation of the steps they have taken to preserve responsive documents or to search for the full universe of records potentially responsive to plaintiff's requests with possession, custody, or control. There's not even been a response to the first deficiency letter that was sent out. So they didn't even bother to respond to the first deficiency letter. They were just like, who cares? It's crazy. So when they sent out the second request for production, which was served on February 24th, 2025, as of the day of writing this here, nothing was produced, and there was no response by the defendants to that second request for production. So they didn't even bother to respond to it. Again, this lawsuit, when people look at it, you have to remember the stage we're at right here with discovery. You can't just opt out of discovery. You know, they're way far in. No. And I'm thinking about, I may do this weekend. A DUI guy put together a very good video that talks about.
Oh, the one about, the discovery violation one.
Yeah, I thought about going over that and really just hammering in what happens when you violate like this, you know, because it's a mess.
Yeah, I mean, precedent says you can't do this. But they don't care about court rules. I mean, so far, though, I will hand it to them. They've been allowed to get away with...
for everything, pretty much.
They've been allowed to get away with snubbing their noses at court rules.
But, you know, at the same time, they've been allowed to get away with a lot of stuff. But at the same time, how many motions... See, so many of their motions were so bad in this that they couldn't win, you know, like Gainesville to Gainesville to Gainesville. I mean, are you kidding me? I couldn't believe that those were real. Those felt like something that J-Hip would make. You know, honestly, that did not feel real to me. I could not believe that.
I know.
They blew my mind. They were amazing to see, obviously, but and like this notes. You know, with this coming up, you had 3 days until a deadline was essentially up for discovery. And it looked like they were trying to sandbag the plaintiff in hopes there'd be no extensions, especially to those regarding summary judgment. So what they ask for is the court should compel defendants to detail their preservation efforts to date. You know, tell me exactly what you are doing with all of this. Like how, you know, did you go in? Did you check anything? Like that's what they're asking. They're also asking for court should compel defendants to respond to plaintiff's second set of requests for production and grant plaintiff additional relief and sanction defendants. I mean, that would make sense. Again, you should reply to this stuff. You know, I'd really love to see a John Cook response. Oh my God, that would be hilarious. Could you imagine it? Oh,
yes.
Talk about feeding people to gators.
It would be great.
I can only imagine how bad that would be. But the court, again, they ask for additional sanctions because look at how much time is wasted. All of it, again, look at what Jeremy, like the cost that's being raised, and again, time on top of that, because he's had to send out requests for production, second request for production. They're having to hit up the court and say, yo, you know, can we get any of this stuff? You know, what's going on with it? I mean, it's sticking the middle finger up at the court and saying, no, we're not gonna do anything with it. So I think this was well put together, and I would definitely have responded to it. So, but when I don't know what response they can give to it. That's really the problem. We'll find out at the end of the day.
Yep. Until we've got till midnight. Here's my prediction. So my court prognosticator hat, I'm going to put it on, stare into my crystal ball. I think that they will wait until tomorrow to file some excuse. Yeah. And it'll be an excuse why I can't give discovery. I tried and I don't know what I'm doing. I'm pro se and I'm old and I'm disabled and indigent, and that's what I think will happen. It will be filed tomorrow.
And the judge won't give a shit. He always lets them get away. I mean, that's the way it's been. We'll see, you know. But oh my God, we will definitely see. Yeah, I expected something to be filed tomorrow. Give us an extension. It's like, wait a minute. All right. So I thought we would talk about a wonderful filing that happened today, by the way. It went in Fed to. Now, before we look at this, let's look at what the claims are that are in this filing, because that actually is a very important portion of it, right? When you're talking about defense. Give me a second. When you're talking about defense, you have to respond to the allegations of the counts against you, right? I mean that makes sense.
Yes, you should definitely respond to the claims in the lawsuit against you. You should definitely pay close attention to what are the causes of action and then respond to those causes of action, and not causes of action that just reside somewhere in your mind or in another lawsuit that doesn't have your name on it.
Yeah. So let's look at the causes. Let's look at the causes of action, period, before we,
Yes.
We'll do these quickly. All right. Because again, you want a refresher on this, right?
We need to refresh what is Fed 2 actually about.
Right. So count 1, would you like to tell us what count 1 says? Make it honest. What is that?
It is malicious prosecution, and this is aimed at Preston. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So rolling down. Count 2. This is about weeks. Now, this will be important to what we're going to read.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that is violation. Violation of Florida's Deceptive and Unfair Trade Practices Act. Okay, write these down if you're keeping track of it.
Okay, right. I'm going to write it down. Deceptive and Unfair Trade Practices Act. Okay, got it.
That will be count 2. That one does count. All right. Then let's see.
Okay, that's important.
Count 3, false advertising. That would be under the
false advertising. Okay, I got that one. Okay. Under the Lanham Act. Okay.
Yes. All right. See, that's count 3. Okay. Mm-hmm. Count 4 is tortious interference. That also
tortious interference. Got it. Mm-hmm.
I have to get that tortoise interference in there.
Don't you say tortoise.
This is another tortious, but this is towards Bruce. So
okay,
that one doesn't count. Here's civil conspiracy.
Civil conspiracy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So that one counts. Now again, we're refreshing this because you got to know there's so many out there.
Yeah.
There's a point to this. All right. Count 7. It doesn't count. That's about Manskin. Again, that's civil conspiracy, but that doesn't attach. We have count 8, civil conspiracy, doesn't count. Let's see, count 9, civil conspiracy, Cook, doesn't count. Count 10, civil conspiracy, doesn't count. We have certain people, you're just making sure they're all here. Civil conspiracy for Helm, that doesn't count for what we're going to read. Although there was a Helm document too, we will cover that. We just can't get them all in one day. They're long documents. All right. Well, civil conspiracy, that one also, that's for Kesey, doesn't count. Civil conspiracy for Stupa does not count. We're looking at weeks.
We're just looking at weeks, just the counts.
Civil conspiracy for another person doesn't count. We have paint chips, doesn't count.
Paint chips doesn't count in a lot of ways.
Do not count. Another paint chips doesn't count. Yeah, like I said, I want everyone. Okay, so that's everything. Well, everyone out there, you all agree, right? Megan, you agree that's it? Right?
Yeah, that's it. Okay. We got them. So we had, deceptive and unfair trade practices, false advertising, tortious interference, and civil conspiracy.
Okay, so when we get into this new filing here, this is the motion to dismiss second amended complaint, motion to strike allegations that lack standing in the alternative motion for more definitive statement. Good Lord, by the way. 27 pages. Now, what's really interesting about this, and when we go through it and we look at the arguments in here, well, what does this argue quite a bit, Megan? What is the one thing that it keeps arguing about?
That would be defamation. What is defamation, Alex?
that is Fed case number 1. That is
Which reminder, who is being sued for defamation again?
not Weeks.
Only 2 people, Lynette Preston and John Cook. Did she write her response to
Did
Fed
you not
1?
read the fucking? I mean, look. This is a defamation argument. For again, will you read back what her claims are against her?
Yes. Deceptive and unfair trade practices, false advertising, tortious interference, and civil conspiracy.
So she is putting together an argument. Again, it's a defamation related argument. You see this here. False statements for defamation and more. There is no defamation claim against her. She's not arguing this stuff that's actually there against
and
her.
How many pages did she waste on defamation again? Wait, and also, can we point out that it's 27 pages? How many pages were they told they had?
I don't remember if they had a page limit on this for sure, or
we don't know if it's in Fed 2
has
a page limit yet.
This may have a word count, is what it is, since because of the type. I can't remember. Like, again, I think I may be mixing up. There's so many cases. I think that this might fall under. Again, you see though, you have the tortious interference argument.
We were at page 11 before she gets to one of the charges that is actually relates to her.
I mean, this is wild though. And what's really the wonderful kicker here too, when you're saying that I'm not part of a civil conspiracy to try to ruin somebody, perhaps don't have a person put in, number 1, an unrelated case like Lips does. Lips actually puts in a totally unrelated case, files it into court here, and then they mention it again here. It's mentioned yet again. I could not believe that she decided to mention it again. It's like, why would you do this stuff? Oh my God. Like this argument of, God, let's look at some of this. Oh my God. This is so ridiculous. What they think is that they're arguing a YouTube argument, and you're not. You're talking about arguing facts with a court. And oh my Lord, when you're arguing against again, this argument down here. What's really interesting about the defamation argument is we've seen some of these arguments before.
Oh yeah. We have, haven't we?
We have indeed.
Did we find her ghostwriter? Oh my God, is it Lips? Oh my gosh, it's time for you to sing your little song again, Tug.
Happy birthday, Mr. Judgment. Oh my God, I can't believe this.
Oh my God.
That's so amazing.
And in Florida, if you got legal help writing a pro se document, it has to be disclosed to the court. I don't see any disclosure here that she sought help and has a ghostwriter who is not allowed to practice law.
That's why if I were going to get help, I would not get help from people that quote retired or the other. Just look at the slew of folks out there. I think I would get I would get some professionals that might be able to help me. Again, I can't say how a lawsuit will turn out. Like I've said, I'm sitting here, I'm looking at this lawsuit. I'm not going to tell you how I think it will or won't turn out. Courts are crazy on it. But I will say, when you are arguing the way that they are, you are definitely loading the deck against you. God,
I think it's really going to annoy the judge too, that he has to read all of this, all of this stuff that is completely irrelevant to the case. He's going to be like,
this
"What are
is
you talking?
grandstanding.
You're not being sued for defamation."
Yep. This is grandstanding, though. All of this right here. I mean, we have pages of nothing. There is no argument, because what she's supposed to be doing in here is arguing to, again, dismiss a complaint. You know, you don't treat the judge as the finder of fact. He's made this clear. He made it clear in Fed 1, which they would know if they actually read documents. But this is what you save. Like, if you want to grandstand online, then save this stuff. You know, everybody, you can write letters and read them and try to talk your shit. I mean, that's fine. You know, just make sure, again, when you do it, you know, don't stick to so many statements of fact. That seems to have caused people problems. But, you know, they seem to like stealing the open letter thing. You know, there's been a bunch of them trying to get on that grift lately. So,
also, there is. Are we going to actually read through this? Because there are some. All right, there are some points I want to show you.
Okay. Yeah, I thought we would read. I want to read the introduction. Because,
yes, let's read the introduction. We can skip all the defamation stuff because it's completely irrelevant.
I think I want to highlight a couple of things out of the defamation.
Okay, yeah, that's good, because I have something to tell you about that too. So
okay, good deal. That'll be fun. All right. So for the introduction, you want to switch pages? You want to go back and forth?
Sure.
Well, I'm going to start with the introduction, since it's all the come down, blah blah blah. Who cares, right?
Right.
All right. So introduction. This lawsuit is not a genuine pursuit of justice. It is yet another episode in Jeremy Hale's ongoing campaign to manufacture controversy, cultivate outrage, and monetize conflict for the benefit of a YouTube channel. Again, this has nothing to do with anything.
This is the thing the judge said he didn't want to hear about.
He does not want this. He made it very clear. Hale's a self-styled content creator.
Again,
we've read this before. Do you remember
this is from her first one?
Yeah, it's the last file. Like when I started reading this, in fact, because I remember laughing at the self-styled content creator statement, and when I looked at that, I had to make sure that I was reading this. You know, if it didn't have this giant freaking stamp right here, I thought I was reading the wrong thing. Let's see. Has made a practice of instigating public disputes, recording selectively edited encounters, and then casting himself as the perennial victim before a large and devoted online audience. His pattern is clear: provoke, record, profit. This will be you.
Using the legal process as a mere backdrop for generating attention and financial support. The defendants in this case are not malicious conspirators. They are independent online commentators. Oh my God, wait, we need something for this. They are independent online commentators and critics who, like Hales himself, participate in the robust and often heated public discourse that thrives on social media platforms. Their statements, cited in Hale's amended complaint, are plainly matters of opinion, satire, or rhetorical hyperbole, well within the norms of the YouTube community and First Amendment protections. Just like our forefathers intended, Hales' true motive is not to vindicate his reputation, but to silence criticism, control the narrative, and stoke the outrage that drives clicks and donations from his online following.
Now here's lips. This is lips right here. Look at this. She's got to bring up the lips stuff.
She has to put herself in here. Recent events underscore this pattern. When a retired attorney and mother of 4 merely gave an interview to someone critical of Hale's, she became the target of a coordinated harassment campaign by Hales and his followers, prompted and celebrated on his channel. When she responded with satirical content exposing the truth, Hale spun the story, presenting himself as the aggrieved party and again mobilizing his audience against her. The litigation before this court is no different. Hales has weaponized the court system, turning legal filings into fodder for his videos, all while soliciting and receiving tens of thousands of dollars in donations under the guise of defending.
I swear. Like, what's ridiculous about all of this when you get down to it, very much ridiculous, by the way, is the fact that nothing has come up here. This is, again, a soapbox. You are not, this is not Perry fucking Mason here, okay? God, people watch way too many shows and they think that a judge, again, wants to dig through. Look, before we even get to anything at all, the judge has to go 1 page, 2 pages, 3 pages. And I mean, look, there's nothing right at the very bottom here on page 3. You have something noted finally, and it's again, we'll look at the argument for it. But okay, so the guise of defending himself from attacks. This is not the conduct of a wronged individual seeking justice. I like, by the way, how people will complain to the ends of the earth that there is no such thing as a mold for what a victim is. You know,
Right.
Victims come in all shapes, but no, not that one. That can't be a wronged individual. It's a calculated strategy of a digital provocateur. You can tell they didn't write that because of that fucking word. Exploding. It would say like a digital particulator exploding the legal system. I don't know. I can't even come up with a word that would replace provocateur with. I mean, again, these are the same people that did not understand that guillotine is not gauntlet. You know, I mean, yeah. Nor did they bother to find that out. Nor did anyone that was around them in the chats. Nor did they bother to say, "Hey, you know, that's not good. That's not smart." So, but exploiting the legal system for views, influence, and profit. For these reasons, the court should view Hale's claims with the skepticism warranted when the legal process is conscripted as a stage prop for online entertainment rather than a forum for the resolution of legitimate grievances.
Well, I'll give her this. She ran it through spell check at least.
Yeah. I mean,
I think she was terrified we were going to make fun of her spelling and
oh
grammar.
God! And fortunately, she didn't make sure of what this is all about. So their arguments at first, again, you know, you go with the basic first of all. No standing under Florida federal law. Now you always see standing argued.
Wait. Go back though, because this says.
Okay.
Must demonstrate an actual or imminent injury that is concrete and particularized, and the injury is fairly traceable to the defendant's conduct. Okay, can you go back to, can you flip back to the second amended complaint?
Yeah. Which part of it? What do you want to?
Just, I think it's towards the, let me see. I'll tell you what page it is because I have it up on my screen too.
Let's say it's like 74 pages.
I know it's a lot of pages. So let me.
I don't know which one to go to.
Let me put. I think it is. Hold on. It's okay. Go to page 8.
Page 8. Okay. Give me a second. God, there are a lot of links in there.
Like it starts on like 7, basically.
Yeah.
But remember the word particularized, okay? And on page 7, it begins, are we on 7?
Yeah, I'm flipping it.
Oh wait. Oh, I see you're flipping.
Yeah, I was pulling it up. So when I
on
pull
7, it begins where, talking about the signs that she was using her online advertisement YouTube platforms to make misleading statements. And then if you scroll from 7 to 8, number 30 says she's made more than 100 YouTube video publications with malicious false things. And then you scroll down and look at there's all the links. These are pretty particularized. If pretty particularized, and with all of this evidence, by the way, the judge has to take this as true what the plaintiff says, and if it's a matter of fact finding, it has to go to a jury. So then we get to like page 13 where the YouTube links finally stop, and we have look at all of these statements. We're talking about 31. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 statements that are being quoted. Then on 32. We have more quoted things that Jeremy is saying harmed him. 33, 34, all of these are quotes. 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 40, all the way down through page 15, 16. These are very highly particularized allegations here. And what's interesting is when we go back to her filing, she only mentions 2 of them. So that just to give you, there's more than that, but like I'm stopping at like page 18. Let's stop.
It's not 18. Responding to when you're responding to claims, when you're saying this is garbage, you need to respond to the entire claim.
Yeah, I mean, Weeks is the allegations against Weeks go on for almost 19 pages. So. But you can put her response back up. What she responds to are only 2 of those.
It's amazing, man.
Yes, Mike Wolf, they lost their whatnot contract. Jeremy talked about that. They did not renew it. Whatnot did not renew their contract. And that is absolutely harm that came to him because of the extended campaign to harm his business that we have all been witness to. We have all seen it happen.
People called for damages to be done, though. See, that's the difference. When these people, I cover this. I make videos about it quite a bit, and the thing is that they'll just make something up out of whole cloth. Like again, this person, Jeremy Hale's the 2-dog incident. That's when I like to go back to. We'll give you proof later on, but we canvassed where this man lives, and he 2 dogs. Where did that come from? Well, supposedly we were going to get some answers to that, but we never did. We never doubled back to actually talk about that. And on top of it, we have the attacks on Olight, which they 100% did.
They wrote letters
openly. Oh yeah, and they said that they were responsible for it. They bragged about costing him that.
On August 22 of 2024, Weeks posted the following on her YouTube platform: Germ embezzled money from a church.
Yeah, the embezzlement claims. Yep.
That's accusing him of a crime. Like, I don't know how, and she doesn't notice how she does not mention that in her defamation response, even though she's not being sued for defamation. But she doesn't bring that up. She doesn't try to argue that saying someone embezzled money is just an opinion.
Donation activity. What? Wait.
What?
No standing under Florida law. I'm trying to establish standing in law. A plaintiff must demonstrate actual or imminent injury. Right. Okay. All right. Standing requires blah, blah, blah. Federal law similarly requires a plaintiff to allege an injury of fact, causation, blah, blah. Here, plaintiff fails to allege any actual injury to himself or his business resulting from her alleged donation activity. What? From her
the allegations relate solely to purported misrepresentations to third-party donors, not to plaintiff. No. What he's saying, what the lawsuit is saying, and let's see if I could find it, is that the Jeremy's customers are harmed by the lies she told and also soliciting donations from them based on the things she said he
false
did.
allegations. Yeah, she created a business model to destroy. It's just the
Correct.
way this is worded is shitty. Like, this is a terrible way of trying to put this together, you know?
Yeah.
The judge gonna look and be like, "What in the world?"
I mean, here's what it says. I'm looking in the amended complaint. It says Weeks solicits cash from consumers who watch Weeks programming and misleads them to believe these donations are for charitable purposes, i.e., for Preston's child, to construct a home on Preston's property, etc. The soliciting of donations for this purpose from consumers who watch Weeks has been quite effective. Weeks has been able to raise at least $70,000 since August of 2024 under the above false pretense. These are false pretenses because Weeks has kept the great bulk of this money for herself and for her own personal use. And she failed to account for where the money raised by these consumers has been spent. And in fact, on April 6th, she said, what I was doing, it wasn't a fundraiser. It was not donations because it was given to me to help me. It's not a donation. It may have been called a donation or something, or that's because what people actually, think if they're doing something, it's a donation. In actuality, it was nothing more than a scheme to enrich herself at the expense of consumers and Hales. I think that's a pretty good argument.
It's definitely one you would want to try to argue against effectively,
Uh-huh.
And to say, wait, no, that's not happening here.
But actually, it's interesting because those consumers are harmed if she has done these things. If she raised money saying it was for a charitable cause, and then it turns out that it's not, it was just for her, that is harming consumers. Period.
It's an interesting approach, The other thing that I didn't really think about at first, but I noticed this in the argument going against Hale. This approach also may sidestep the anti-slap defense because it's talking about business. So that was pretty interesting.
Yeah. So I actually, when I'm thinking we can get more into this in a different show because it's going to be really complicated actually, and there's a lot to talk about, but I did look this up, and Randy Shockett is correct. Under the statute he sued, which was about business and commercial harm, anti-slap does not apply. There's an exception. And it says the exception to the anti-slap law in Florida is the statute does not apply to commercial speech, which is speech primarily proposing a commercial transaction or furthering a commercial interest. And I think they're making the argument that all of this speech was done in order to further their own scheme to enrich themselves.
At the cost of.
Hales and his business.
Yeah, they created an anti-Hales business. They created a platform, or I'm sorry, they created a business that is an anti-Jeremy business.
Mm-hmm.
Which is I've never seen that approach before. So
this is a new. I think this is like a new approach to this type of problem, and I'm very interested in what the court is going to say. And I actually can't tell you what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't know, and I don't think it's ever been done before as it applies to YouTube businesses. But for sure, YouTube is a business for Jeremy Hales. It is a business for me. It's a business for Tug. It's a business for a lot of people. So it should be treated as a business. It falls under the law that protects businesses. I don't know why it wouldn't.
Well, and it when you look at it, they're not critiquing his behavior. They are not talking about what he had to say on his live stream. They're going in, and again, they're attacking businesses. That would be comparable. It would be like saying I started up a platform solely to credit. I hate to say that I would solely do this for any of them because they're so small and inconsequential. But just imagine they were bigger. We start up a platform that solely targets him. They don't do anything else. That's all they cover. They target him, and they go after every business,
every advertiser,
every advertiser, every contract that comes up, and they've done it. Look at their garbage they've thrown out there. I think a very good example of it is their so-called expert witness that they brought in. The one that they were going to use only for online purposes. They never wanted to use that quote unquote expert. They never planned on using them in court.
Mm-hmm. Look, I want to point out what Ali Quote said here. Why are people talking like What the Hales isn't still doing Whatnot? They're still selling every night. Don't boycott their shows. Whatnot is their main platform for earning income to pay the bills. This is true. They are still doing Whatnot. What they do not have is an exclusive contract with Whatnot that was, how do I put this? It allowed them to make more money on Whatnot as like you can have
incentivized contracts.
Thank you.
Because you're running a lot of traffic to these places, and if you have a platform as big as they do, and you have 700,000 folks, I mean they're running a lot of traffic there, and that works out.
Exactly. So the company will sometimes look at it like a Rumble contract. You guys know what that is. Like Nick Rekieta got a Rumble contract. Viva and Barnes, they have a Rumble contract, and they're getting paid specifically more than other creators to stream on that platform because they bring in so many people that those people then make the platform more money. That's what Whatnot was doing with Jeremy. But now the contract is not, they stopped offering him that contract. They didn't renew it. So he's allowed on Whatnot, but now he has no incentivized contract. That would be just like me on Rumble with no contract, just having to battle it out and make what I make. He was in a contract where the company was paying him to sell his things there, and now they aren't.
Yeah, and the reason that's happening, we will see. I'm sure as we go forward, we will see proof of that, because again, what a screw up. Like, they should have never gone after that specific contract where it's provable.
Yeah, and we still don't know how much money that cost him, because he's hiring experts to tally up, to do all the mathing, to tally up how much money he has lost because of their interference, and that will come out further on in the litigation.
But you're right.
I agree with what Ali is saying. Continue supporting Jeremy on Whatnot. That is how he is paying his employees, etc. Don't boycott the company. Let Jeremy handle it if he's going to handle it legally in some way.
I do believe they screwed up if they are talking, it's like any place. Like if you have a contract with someone and they start discussing it with some outside party, that is a violation.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Non-disclosure. That's absurd. And depending on how Bruce actually presented himself with that could be a huge problem for Bruce, because how exactly did he get? We saw the email that stated that they don't need to be talked to until they get X, Y, or Z. Well, as far as we know, X, Y, or Z was never provided. So he was having conversation. Bruce was pissed, by the way, at John Cook for dumping that out there. He had an absolute little fucking shit bit about it.
Yeah, so don't worry, chat. He's not losing his ability to sell on Whatnot. It's just that you have to think of it in terms of, how Emily D. Baker has like a deal with YouTube. Like she's one of their creators. They pump her channel. They help her. They like her. They love her. She was like streaming from YouTube headquarters not too long ago during the Karen Reed trial. That's what Jeremy had with Whatnot. Now he's just like everybody else. That's a big deal.
And he, and you think about that, he is being targeted by the lawyer of people he has protective orders against. Like, you think about how jacked up that is.
Mm-hmm.
That tells you about what kind of joke the court systems are. Because by the time, you can get this fixed, but again, look at the damage they've been allowed to do. The courts haven't stood up and been like, hey, this is a problem. And, the court could have prevented a lot of that stuff. Like when that first email about whatnot came in, Belito could have stepped in and said, hey, you know what? This is messed up. Don't do that. But did he? No. He just let it happen, you know?
That guy has no control over his courtroom. It's embarrassing.
He has no control over it. Again, somebody needs to step up and handle. Because if one of them is acting like this, if you've got clowns that do this business, then you're going to have other clowns that do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how many are like this out there. You know, like it bothered me. I watched Better Call Saul not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a certain disbarred moron that kept talking about how he was Saul. You know, now if he wasn't the hero in the story, he's a terrible freaking human being. Saul's a bad person. You know, he helps get people. He helps people like die. You know, he's helping with creating a certain type of empire. He's helping certain. I mean, it's a terrible person. So when these people are out there, that's who they role model after. That's awful. That's absolutely awful.
Yep.
All right. So looking at this again, I'm not going to read through this whole thing tonight. I may go over like for the weekend. These are long documents, but I do want to skim some of it because it's I want to
pay attention in the defamation part, how she doesn't mention any of those heinous things that I just showed you that were numbered into the 30s.
No causal link to plaintiff's claim. Plaintiff's complaint is rooted in the alleged defamation in business. See,
no, there's no defamation.
There's no defamation.
None. Zero.
Yeah.
There's no. Did she read the right complaint?
It's so weird.
I'll be right back.
Right.
The dog's barking. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Allegations that Lee failed to account for donation funds to enrich herself are wholly unrelated. They're unrelated? Wait. Not untrue. They're unrelated. Wouldn't you? That's a strange way of putting that. Because I'd be like, if you were saying that I had gone in and I'd asked for donations to build a home and do all these other things for somebody, I would say that would be untrue and wholly unrelated, but we don't have that denial there. That's interesting. The argument 2. Alleged statements are non-actionable opinions. Now again, this is all the argument for defamation. And the reason we spent so much time building this is because, again, there is not a claim of defamation. So she's arguing against something that does not exist. So, second amended, I said amendment complaint, cites numerous statements by Lee, yet fails to state legally sufficient claim for defamation under Florida law. So again, it doesn't note defamation, period. Non-actionable opinion versus rhetorical hyperbole. This has been the go-to. Certain person out there keeps bringing this up over and over, by the way. I wonder who that was. Reliance on public or third-party information. Again, look at what she's trying to throw out. Defamation action. So this is not a defamation action. So when she's talking about it requires this or that, there is no defamation action. Again, doesn't matter. No plausible allegation of actual malice or reckless disregard. Again, there is no action that this is arguing. So just look at all of this, though, when she's noting this. And yeah, like Megan stated, they only brought up specific statements. Like here, when you actually look at these statements that are thrown in, let me see. Let me just scroll some of this for you, okay? That way you can see how this Say such as. So again, we get 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 statements. All right. Now, out of the statements that Weeks actually made that were noted here, how many do you see? He brings up 4 examples. And yet, there's quite a bit. And like Megan said, there's specific ones, like scamming a church, for example. That's not even brought up in here. So you left those things out. She only brought up certain ones. She thought, well, I can say that these right here, these specific items, these are just opinion, like shady, or he obsessed with the man's pee-wees. By the way, yuck. Yuck with him talking about pee-wees, period. Ugh. Reliance on third party. No plausible allegation for actual malice or reckless disregard. Again, yeah, there's no plausible allegation because there is no allegation for it. Cynic. That's interesting. I'll have to look and see what's on there. Oh, by the way, did you notice this too before I say that? So Just J-Hip has announced all publicly as well that this Saturday, that's right, this Saturday, by the way, Just J-Hip, you should probably note the time too.
Fantastic. Yes, I'm back.
You will have your first filing, Megan.
Fantastic. That's good news. I'm glad that he's on it. You know, he's very fast for a per se lawyer.
Yeah. Well, you know, I've never experienced a per se lawyer, so
I like his promptness. I'll say that. Sorry, I was gone so long. I had to deal with a farm issue. So the dogs started barking, and that's always upsetting at 10 o'clock at night because I'm like, okay, why is the dog
like, what's going on now?
yeah, because he doesn't bark for no reason. Well, that's not true. He does bark for no reason sometimes too, but I'm glad he did. I don't know what bothered him, but there could have been a predator outside, and we left the chicken coop open. So had to get hangry and arm him with a flashlight and send the dog out with him to go and close the door because, of course, I didn't want to go out there. So Hangry did it. But he's a boy and he loves doing stuff like that. So don't worry. He was all excited.
Yeah. I always like
a flashlight.
Of course, I like having a shotgun when I'm going.
Yeah, well, I sent him out with the dog. So, you know, we have a very large dog that will protect him and attack anything out there. There's nothing in New York bigger than him. Well, black bears, but there's very rare to see one of
You're
those.
not going to be bringing those down with a shotgun either. So there's just...
No. But black bears run off, they get scared.
Yeah.
And then the only other thing here that might give him a run for his money is like a bobcat, maybe. But those are also something you don't see very, very many of. It's more likely it would be like a fox or a raccoon or like one of those little weasel things.
There's a guy that's going out. He's cleaning off his car, and I believe it's his wife comes out and something attacks her. He thinks it's a dog or something at first.
It's a fox. I've seen that.
Yeah, that's crazy. He's got hit by the neck. I think it's actually a bobcat. I don't think it's a fox. I think it's a bobcat because he's got it by the throat, and the way it's huddled up, it looks like a bobcat. He takes it, he throws it.
Yeah, I love that video.
That was amazing. Yeah. Bobcats are creepy, by the way. You get out and they make that screaming sound.
Well, remember when we were on the phone and I was like, what is that noise?
Yeah.
I'd never heard it before. And I knew Tug would know because he's a country boy. I'm like, oh my God, something is roaring in my backyard. And he was like, yep, that's a bobcat.
Yeah. You get a bobcat up in a tree. It's creepy, man.
They
sit up there and they make that screeching sound. Between those and peacocks, I don't know which is worse, but I mean, sound wise, I know which was worse. The run across, I would much rather run across a peacock, but they both sound terrifying. Yeah, here's that by the way, the statements that you were bringing up. Yeah, they only brought up 4 statements out of all of that. They brought up he's shady, He's obsessed with men's peens, I'm going to say. He's always talking about people's peens. He's scamming them out of their money. I'm glad to know, by the way, that scamming out of money is protected. Remember that. Remember that, because they kept saying, we're going to sue because they keep saying that we're scammers. Well, first of all, I very much believe you're scammers. And I believe that you've never cleared that up publicly. You know? In fact, your statements don't seem to match up with the way you collected money. But on top of that,
it's not like any of us could tell because they haven't been transparent with it. So we have no way of knowing.
But I'm going to make sure that I collect this real quick. I'm going to keep that for my records later on. Because if they ever try to pull any bullshit, I'd be like, hey, this is out of their own legal filings. They're admitting that it's not actionable. This is, yeah, you know, and unlike me, who is per se, you know, I have a per se lawyer. They're pro se. So this is them talking, supposedly, you know. If you could see all the air quotes.
Look at how few of the statements were included.
4. There's 4.
4. I thought there were 2, but okay, 4.
Yeah, 4. Yeah, well,
and they pick out the ones that are the least offensive, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, they tried to go with the easy peasy ones. They thought would not do that much damage with it. So, hey, can you hold this down for 1 second?
Sure I can.
All right.
Please hold. Your host will return. Maybe he's dealing with country predators. If he is, he's dealing with it tug style, which is probably something that's going to go boom. Me, on the other hand, I just send the dog out with the sun and a flashlight.
Hey, I'll be back in like 2 minutes, okay?
All right, you got it. All right. So hopefully the girls are all right and he doesn't have a potato nightmare going on in the kitchen. But I'll read some stuff from the chat. What's going on with you, chat? All right. Let's see. One of you said you had a bobcat in your yard. That's scary. I'd never want to see the cat. Hearing it was scary enough. And I do not want to see one because that was terrifying. All right, here we go. Reliance, what were we reading? Reliance on public or third-party information. Again, they're arguing defamation. There is no defamation in the Fed 2 lawsuit. Not one cause of action is listed as defamation. So she's wasting a bunch of time arguing it. None of this is relevant in any way. It's going to get through. This is going to get thrown out. This is not good. All right. Somebody said there's an amicus brief in my email. What happened, Tug? Is everyone all right?
No, yeah, everything's good. Yeah. I just
okay.
had to clarify something. I had to go make sure of something real quick. I heard the beeping on the fridge, and I thought that sounds like something else. So I was trying to make sure somebody left the refrigerator door open upstairs, and you know how it beeps, beep beep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was something else beeping up there. I thought, is that connected to the front? You know, I've never heard the front thing go off. Like if somebody's come into the house, it should set it off on my phone, but you never know. I don't trust it. So I got my handy dandy doorbell, I'm going to say, that sits over beside me, and I went and checked, you know, because I know the kids are asleep. That's why they haven't raided tonight.
You're lucky. They must have gotten tired out today.
Yeah. And
Hangry's awake because he had his last day of school today, so he gets to stay up. So he's I hear him down that he's playing with his cousin.
Well, that's what my oldest has
whatever.
been. You know, her sleep schedule's kind of whacked a doodle. I've been letting her goof off and have a good time today. All right, so let's see. Let me see. What else do I want to cover? I don't want to, like I said, I'll probably read this thing on the weekend because it's a lot of documents. You know? But look how much, again, statement is wasted on this whole argument that doesn't exist. Oh, no plausible allegation. There's no plausible allegation of actual malice. Reckless. Yeah, to survive dismissal. Well, it doesn't have to survive dismissal. It's not there. You know. Wow. Maybe they filed that so they can say we at least won something out of it.
Yeah.
You know.
Maybe.
That's
but I mean,
so funny.
That it's just gonna get, that whole part's gonna get ignored or thrown out. Like it's not.
Yeah, it's garbage. It's an absolute.
It's not going to be
garbage
relevant in any way at all. No.
Failure to state a claim. No, it doesn't work. Failure to state a claim.
There are so many claims stated.
There are indeed. It's very clear on that. Lack of specificity, fails to provide fair notice. I'm looking at the argument. This is a cookie cutter argument. It's not very good. You know, Florida law requires pre-suit notice, opportunity to retract.
Yeah, but that's for defamation.
Yeah.
That's for there is no defamation in this lawsuit. How many times do we have to say it?
I love that. Like, that's hilarious. Like, did any of the people that looked at this, by the way, I'm talking about any of them, because you know it wasn't just 2L1 that looked at this. You know, you have their so-called their legal brain trust over here where they talk about all this stuff. So you know that she showed them this. You know, all of them. Like, who knows how many of them had their hands on it when they were totally not helping with it. But none of them noticed. Like none of them bothered to go in and actually read what the lawsuit was about.
It's hard to understand how this happened. It's hard to understand how this got written because I don't get it.
This thing is a mess too. Like I said, I'll read through it though this weekend. It will be here all night, like trying to go through this fucking thing.
Right. I know. It's very long.
Well, it's a lot again, there is a lot of just cookie cutter garbage in this, you know?
Yeah, I mean, again, this is general criticisms, personal attacks, or negative commentary on YouTube do not constitute commercial advertising or promotion within the meaning of the Lanham Act. Well, I'm not sure about that.
I need to look up this, Hayes, because, you know, I have this weird notion that they're not going to refer.
What is it called?
The dates here.
Porous
Porous Media Corp
versus Paul Corp.
That's 1999. I'm curious what they're supposed to be referring to with that.
Well, I'm gonna have Grok summarize it for me. Let's see if
I'll look up 7-Up Co. versus Coca-Cola Co. Let me get Chad.
Let's see. What were the claims? They were sued for malicious prosecution. So Porous sued Paul for malicious prosecution, alleging that Paul's counterclaims and Porous were baseless, motivated by malice, and intended to harm Porous. The district court granted Paul's motion for judgment on the pleadings under Civil Rule 12C, and Porous appealed. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the Eighth Circuit affirmed the district court's decision, holding that Paul's counterclaims were not objectively baseless. The court reasoned that the trial judge's denial of Porous' motion for judgment as a matter of law showed that the counterclaims had a legally sufficient basis. Malicious prosecution, this is a Minnesota case, requires providing the underlying lawsuit lacked probable cause, was pursued with malicious intent, and terminated in the defendant's favor. Since Paul's counterclaims were supported by probable cause, Porous' malicious prosecution claim failed. Well, this is not, we're not reading a counterclaim here. This is not a counterclaim. So the key holding says Paul was not liable for malicious prosecution because its counterclaims were not objectively baseless. But she hasn't filed any counterclaims. So I'm not sure how that really relates.
In 7-Up versus Coca-Cola, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit addresses allegations of false advertising under the Lanham Act. Now, 7-Up contended that Coca-Cola's promotional campaign, "The Future Belongs to Sprite," was misleading and influenced independent bottlers to switch from distributing 7-Up to Sprite. Jury initially sides with 7-Up, but the magistrate judge overturns the damage award, saying insufficient evidence on that. The appellate court upheld this decision, emphasizing the necessity of concrete evidence linking to promotional materials. Okay, so again, the way that they are trying to word this, again, I need to look through it just to make sure, but I like how you don't quote anything actually from these. You're just like, hey, judge, go and read all of this.
Yeah, he's not going to like that.
He's not.
You didn't put the argument from the case that supports your claim here. You just cited it. And
it's just random citation.
Look what's in quotes.
Yeah.
Commercial advertising or promotion. Commercial advertising or promotion. How is that? That is not an argument.
Well, also, it's not YouTube. How does YouTube work into this? Because again, look at the dates on this.
Yes, these are not about YouTube. These cases are not about YouTube.
No,
neither one is about YouTube. So how are you relating this to YouTube using cases?
Well, you know when YouTube was
created.
Do you know the year YouTube was created?
2000 something.
2005.
Mm-hmm.
So YouTube did not exist at the time.
Yeah,
so they're saying that somehow this doesn't fit under the meaning of it, under the Lanham Act. Well, how? How? There is no argument based in there, you know?
No, there's no argument at all. None. I find this to be weak because I can't understand what argument she's even making.
No, she doesn't cite anything.
And go up to right there. Moreover, Hales fails to allege facts showing actual or likely injury in the form of lost sales or goodwill directly tied to any actionable advertising or promotional activity by Lee. That's false. We showed you the allegations. There were numbered in the 30s of the activity by Weeks or Lee that harmed him. They were numbered in the 30s, and the judge has to take the plaintiff's allegations as true for the purposes of moving forward with the lawsuit. And they've provided no evidence here that these things are not true. They're just saying, well, it's not factually specific, but there's a lot of specificity. There's over 30 specific statements and specific titles of videos, over 100 of them. Plus, they don't have to prove every single damage in the first filing. That's what discovery is for. That's what witnesses are for. That's what depositions are for. Expert witnesses. You don't prove everything in your first filing. That's not how it works. You just have to establish that you've met the standard.
They put together a shoddy argument because, again, they haven't added anything on there. You know, I mean, that's an absolute mess, an absolute disaster with it. I hate that stuff. I hate how they do not. Oh my God. It's so annoying. Give me a second here. I'm looking something up, by the way. 32nd page. Somebody's saying something.
Frustrating.
Give me a minute. I'm looking for something on here. Well, that's fascinating. Huh. Let me pull this up. I want to pull something up for you real quick. It's a fun little dilly that it came from the mouth of idiots where they admit the bad things they do. Why do they admit the bad things they do, by the way? I mean, why do they think bragging about it? So in one of the live streams that they had, actually I just got sent this. Like I said, I'm taking a clip of it. In the transcript, you have Bruce, or well, in the discussion, which is highlighted in the transcript, you had Bruce talking about how he contacted Whatnot. I mean, he's never hid the fact that he's gone after Whatnot, which it's so messed up when you think about it. So here, check this out. Here. Yes, you can see them talking, you know, blah, 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 blah. Bruce, can you stop Whatnot sales of items being sold? Yeah, you're kidding me. I was just on the phone with Whatnot last night to make sure. Is that why the Ohio case seems to have stalled? Is that why would it? But you see him talking
they
about.
Just didn't. They
I was just on the
these
phone.
Things.
Yeah, I was just on the phone with Whatnot.
And then, but she said, "Can you stop Whatnot sales of items being sold?"
Oh yeah, and they said, "Oh yeah."
I was just on the phone with Whatnot, trying to stop the Whatnot sales.
So I mean, they are definitely interfering with business practices here.
And look at this. I just asked Grok when he was summarizing that case for me, could a YouTube channel that raises money and is monetized be commercial advertising or promotion? Yes, a YouTube channel that raises money and is monetized can constitute a commercial advertising or promotion depending on its content and purpose. Under the Lanham Act, which governs false advertising claims in the U.S., commercial advertising or promotion is defined as commercial speech made by a defendant in commercial competition for the purpose of influencing consumers to buy goods or services, or maybe donate money to you.
Well, and then, I mean, we were talking about a substantial amount of money that was made. You know, you're talking about 70,000 plus, and that was at that moment. We actually have no idea how much more. I mean, that's provable amounts of money. You know, they themselves mentioned some huge amounts that have been brought in, but there's so much more out there too. And I mean, when you're talking about that, that's crazy. You think $70,000? That's not small potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
God, man, like that's life-changing money. And if you base that again, this isn't like they're not set up talking about cases. See, they've tried now to make it look like with their channel, you know, with their bumpers at the beginning, they've tried to hide what they were built for. You know, for the longest time, it's an anti-Hales channel. That's all it's been. That's all they do. They don't bring up documents unless it's a curated portion. They don't bring up the actual documents to show you everything in it. Again,
they called themselves their PR team for Lynette and John. They're the PR team.
Mm-hmm. It's wild to see. Like they don't even pretend well.
Nope. And I do think that they could be considered competition for him. They are trying to take his subscribers and turn them against him and turn them into paying subscribers for them.
I want to play your birthday thing. I want to play it.
Does somebody have a birthday?
Rhea Raya's Mark. You know Mark?
Yeah, I sang to him last night.
Yes, so we need to give him some love. You know?
All right, let's do it.
His cake and stuff, so I just want to give him some love. So here, folks, drink this in. Really? Are you ready for it? I'm going to give you a countdown.
They're not ready. They're not ready. They're not ready for how good it is.
Yeah, it's so amazing.
Happy birthday from both of us to you. Happy birthday. May all your dreams come true. Happy birthday. We love to have you here. Happy birthday. Here's to another year.
I unmuted myself in the middle
of
it. Oh
my God. It's so good.
It is. That's great.
And now we don't have to do that awkward clapping thing.
Oh, man, I love doing that, though. I'm going to do it all the time anyway. Happy birthday from all of us to you, Mark. Happy
Ole.
birthday. May all your dreams come true.
I worked very hard on that. No, not ostracized. I don't want to be ostrich-sized.
Actually, you shouldn't be ostracized for that one. That one's actually good. I think you fought back. You're like, no, taking control
I'm
again.
taking
It's
control
such
from that
brave."
ostrich of shame.
I'm gonna
I
read
really
some
like the little dancing thing at the end. That's my favorite part. The little dancing.
Yeah, I just
animation.
like it. I think it's a lot of fun. You know,
So much fun.
You gonna stick for a minute or?
Yeah. I'm sticking.
All right. By the way, tomorrow I don't know. I have a doctor appointment tomorrow, so I do not know what time I will be in with everything. If I get in on time, we will for show have a live stream, but I'm just not sure what time I'll get in or if I'll feel good about it. I've got a big one coming up on next Tuesday too. Finally, I've been waiting weeks, so finally, Dwayne kicked this bad puppet off. Dwayne, how you doing? Kicking off with the 10 giftos. There's been a bunch of giftos today, by the way, too. Much appreciated. I love those. Thank you, Dwayne. Taz dropped a super sticker too. I saw that come in too. Thank you, Taz. I appreciate that super sticker. Love those. Like I said, I like to go back in, clip them, show them to the kids. I think they're fun. Max Ladd dropped well, you dropped a super chat and it doesn't let you put a comment, but it's its own comment. It doesn't. I think that's crappy. I don't think there should be any type of super chat where you can't comment. You know?
You can't comment on a dollar?
If it's under 2, you can't comment at all.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that's one of the things. I always found that to be, I kind of think that's ugly. They should allow comments no matter what, even if it's a few words. They try to
even a few words.
But they shouldn't be like, that doesn't. But again, backing and Max, I appreciate you too, brother, because always finding docus. There's a lot. There's so much to keep up with.
Wait.
Wait.
Rogue had a really good question. Wait, she says, if the kids are asleep, who opened the fridge?
They left it open. It's probably been open for a hot minute.
Has it been beeping all that time and then you finally heard it?
I can't hear. I've got this ringing in my ears from this health stuff. It's been going on 6 months. I've got this deep sound. And some days it's loud. Today it's very loud.
Oh, that sucks. My husband has the same thing.
Yeah, well, I hate it. It makes me crazy some days. I'm like, oh my God. People think I'm ignoring them too. And I'm like, yeah, maybe, but probably not. Not today. Lori, thanks for the 10 gifted memberships as well. So there, we got Dwayne dropped the 10. Lori dropped 10 as well, man. Thank you both. That is awesome of you. And it continues, by the way. We have Taz drops 10 as well right after that. That's amazing, Taz. Thank you. And follows that up with another 5. I mean, I love it. I love watching them just flood in. That is awesome. Thank you for that. Fallen Hero, 30 months Fallen Hero. Thank you, bud. I appreciate that. Appreciate you too.
Great Muppet. Terrific avatar.
I do. I love that. It looks good. I like the shadowing on it too,
Yeah, it's very cool.
Rusty Ray Hips. What a name. A couple of tubes, preparation H will reduce that swelling. Oh no. No. Gator Jackie, thanks for the tip. I'll take the new one. Still my birthday in the US. Hey, well, you deserve this too. Here, we'll bust this one out for you.
Happy birthday from both of us to you. May all your dreams come true. We love to have you here.
Olé!
Here's to another year.
Yes. I like how AI, for some reason, it darkened my skin.
I know, in that last frame in the dancing.
Yeah. It's like, wait. AI will thank you for that.
Tug's a brother. And, and I really liked it. I didn't want to change it. I was like, I kind of like it. I like it. It works.
I love it.
Oh,
By the
boy.
way, Real Mariah also requested not just the song, but the pucker up. So
Oh, well, he wants the special
happy
song.
birthday, Mark, and even though you're not the president.
Perfect.
I love it. It's great. Jack's mom, thanks for the vibe. Hey, love to you guys too, by the way. Rhea, Ryan, Mark, I appreciate you folks. Man. Jack's mom, thanks for the vibe. Today is my parents' 61st wedding anniversary. No song for that, but we're celebrating. Well, you know what? Happy anniversary. I mean, 61 freaking years. That's amazing.
That is really amazing.
Yeah,
great.
I love it when people have, anniversaries that span after you hit a decade. It's like, wow, when you get into the close to the 20, man, 61 freaking years. That is amazing.
It's unbelievable.
It is. I remember my grandparents when they hit 50th anniversary. I was like, holy crap, I hope in life, I hope everybody finds that in their lives. But yeah, love to them, Jack's mom. Love to you too. Lori dropped 50 there too. Thank you, Lori. Monies to make the haters roll on the floor, melting from the holy waters.
That's great.
That'd be the only water to splash half of them, Many of them.
This anniversary that we're going to have this year is 25 years, which will mark the first year that makes us married longer than we were single.
Oh, wow.
When
is that? When is your anniversary?
August 19th.
Wow. I'm rolling up on, 19 years? So.
It's amazing.
It's crazy. It is crazy.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff, and you can hang in there. Marriage is not easy, but I think it's worthwhile.
Yeah, I'm glad. Again, you get craziness in life too. People, like I said, there was 2 years of absolute insanity with my life, but that stuff it looks like it is, it is calmed at least. It's not where it was. That's good. I'm happy.
No, that's really good.
Yeah. Cheryl, by the way, sent 10 and noted tomorrow birthday. I'm going to play it anyway because I don't know if I'll be here tomorrow. I hope so. I hope we'll have a live stream tomorrow, but if not, I want to make sure you catch it.
Do it.
By the way, Cheryl, it's your 61st birthday. That's amazing. That's awesome. Here we go.
Happy birthday from both of us to you.
Olé!
Happy birthday. May all your dreams come true.
Look at the clown in that. Move around.
I like when he walks away because I'm talking.
I like how he just floats by himself.
Here's to another year.
Yeah, woohoo!
That's good stuff.
I like that we can unmute during stuff and say whatever we want to.
I know. I like how the clown, if you watch in the part where I start talking, the clown gets bored and walks away.
Walks away. I thought that was hilarious.
Is there really a Ricada raid? That's fun.
Oh, that's cool. We're almost to the end tonight.
Ricada interviewed Turtle Boy tonight, and I'm going to go back and watch that on the replay.
Yeah. And that was happening. That's great.
Well, yeah, he streamed over us, the bastard.
I mean,
it's okay.
I'm not shocked. I'm shocked. That's Satan's onion over there. I'm going to set up the redirect, by the way, to Mr. Shizzy Wiznut.
Oh, that's cool. Shizzy will get our redirect and Nick Ricada's. That's fun. Yeah. I can't wait to go watch his interview with Turtle Boy, though. That's going to be very interesting. And I'm glad to see him back. He took a little bit of a break after the Reed trial, but he's back now, so that's good.
Yeah, that's good, man. I'm glad to see he's getting stuff on track, too. Good. Mm-hmm. Glad to see him. Like, man, I always root for people to have a strong comeback. Especially people I know. I want them to have very strong comebacks,
Absolutely.
AJ Stone. What's up, AJ, man? How you doing?
AJ.
Appreciate you, by the way. Yeah, 29 months. Howdy, folks. Howdy back at you. Oh, you dropped 20 gift as a feed down there, too.
Nice.
Thank you, AJ. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Thank you, by the way. Much appreciated, you know? Rusty Ray Hips, thanks for the fine there. Paying the troll toll for only me. He spends enough of his money on misguided loyalty. Yeah. Well, thank you for the troll toll. I appreciate you, Rusty Ray Hips. I love that name, by the way. That's an awesome picture and stuff. Love it. Becky, what's up, Becky? Thanks for the dude. Did J Hip stay at a Holiday Inn Express? That might be why he's having those moments where he can actually file some. I tell you, the last filing was pretty funny, and you know, it did have an underpinning of truth. That was the amazing thing to it. I had no idea what kind of disaster might come out of that, but it was actually better than I thought. Jet the Jet, thanks for the 10. It's my daughter Kendra and her son Joshua's birthday today. Now they're not twins. They were born on the same day, 2 years apart. That's how organized my wife is.
That's amazing. She gets to do double birthdays every year. Just do it, get it once, one and done. That's amazing.
Hey, that is amazing. Well, you must get the song too. I do like having the song to play over and over again. That is kind of nice.
Watch for the clown walking away while I start talking too much.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. From both of us to you.
He rolled his eyes and left.
Here he goes.
I like how its eyes zoomed out too.
I like the tug dance.
Yeah, look at how good I dance.
We love
sword fighting.
I thought that was awesome. This is the first animated one I made on that.
Here's to another year.
And
you're so tan.
Love you, Kendra and Joshua, by the way. That is awesome.
Yes, happy birthday.
What's up, Skibble? Thanks for the 2. I bet the response says contribute to Indeed.
You don't say.
Indeed. That's funny. Maybe not. I love that name. I tell you, every time I see it, it makes me laugh. Thank you for the 10. For 5 gifted minutes. Look, it messed me up so much I said 10 at first. Numbers. I'm not a mathlete tonight. Thanks for the 5 gifted memberships, by the way. Thank you, maybe not. I appreciate you. I do love that name, though. Monica, thanks for the 8 months. Not a statement attached, but 8 months is a heck of a statement. Thank you, Monica. Nancy dropped a $10 super sticker. Thank you, Nancy. I like how happy that Muppet looks, by the way. It's just like, hey, I'm here. It's awesome. I kind of love that. I do. I love it. Lily, thanks for the 2. Are we allowed to go watch this trial?
Yes, you are in person.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
federal court does not allow cameras, but it is open to the public. So if you are in the area, you can go. But you do have to understand federal court has a lot of rules.
Yes, be on your super best behavior.
And dress appropriately for court. You can't wear any T-shirts with any slogans. You have to wear nice dress slacks and button-down
just
shirt.
A dress shirt and button-down, well, depending on male or female, dress appropriately.
Office professional, and also you have to be real quiet. You can't take your phone in, and you have to not make any faces. You can't have any reactions. You just have to be real quiet and still, or the judge will kick you out of the courtroom, and it'll be super embarrassing.
They kind of look for a reason to kick you out in certain cases too, especially if something's high profile. They look for a reason to bust you out. So just keep that in mind.
You can go. You just have to make sure that you
just
behave.
have to make sure it is, you are right as right when you're there. For sure. Again, Saturday we will have Megan's first motion from Parody lawyer. Great. Yeah, that'll be great. Becky, thanks for the 2 months. Was just watching What the Hales live, having a meeting with Mayor Travis in Ohio. Have to go back and watch what I missed. That's cool. I'll have to go back and see that too. I remember something stated about going to Ohio, so that's cool. Maybe not. Thanks for the 2. Max Lab said to check your email, Megan. So I don't know if there was something new sent over.
All right.
Check that email. Now, Cynic and Chief said this. There was thanks for the 5, Cynic. And thanks for being here. Cynic, man, has been around a long time. Like one of the early adopters of the channel. So I appreciate that. Man, I think about the people way back. And like I said, I appreciate that, buddy. But there's another big reason anti-slap may not be available to these clowns in Fed 2. I'm not saying it publicly. Let them figure it out themselves. Now I'm curious what it is. You need to write me and tell me. I want to know what you're talking about. I don't want to stare there all the time. You're also, you know what? You also troll, and I'm afraid you're trolling me, and I'll be staring at that thing forever. And you'll be like, psych, buddy. No, I'm sure there for real. There are probably a dozen ways that they have just made error after error in it. I need to sit down and really go through that filing. I'm curious. When Randy saw that, he had to be like, "Oh my God, that's hilarious." I love it. Patty, thanks for the 5. The pear safe fee. Yes. I use cheap, so $500 will go a long way.
Yeah, well, he's definitely a discount lawyer. We found him in the discount lawyer bin.
Yeah. When they talk about like the Temu crew, for example, what is the discounted if we were going to
he's like a wish.com lawyer.
It's more like a shut down, boarded up business. I mean, where could you go for that? It's like the cardboard box you find in Uncle Milty's.
His main advertiser in the channel is the Beaver Liquor Company. So, you take what you can get. Beggars can't be choosers. And he was the best we could afford currently.
Yeah, I tell you, I felt good about it though. I had this good feeling. Plus, honestly, I don't think I could have stopped him anyway. Clear as mud. What's up, Clear as mud? I hope you're doing good. Thanks for 31 months. I love you too, streaming together. We have a lot of fun, man. This has been a fun stream. A lot of them are, though, and I like it. If anybody has an off day, the other person picks up the slack too, But when we're both on having a clearly good one, God, you have some epic life. Tonight has been a really good one. Like I said, I've laughed a lot tonight.
Yes.
Tracy, thanks for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Tracy. That is much appreciated. Inspire, thanks for the membership. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Tugs Thugs. I like that freaking avatar, by the way. Check that out. That's amazing. Let's see. Sassy, thanks for the 2 there. Just left the meet and greet. That's what it was. It was a meet and greet. That's what they were having today. Thank you. I could not remember what they were doing. It was a freaking meet and greet. Yeah. Was it fun, by the way, Sass? Did you have a good one? Curious. Let me know in the comments. If whomever has gone to it, let me know about it. Silhouette, thanks for the 2. Can you do a Sims stream with all the crazies? Yeah, you haven't been to Sims in a long time.
Oh yeah, that's right. I should do another Sims stream. I haven't played it since the last time I was on stream with. I think it was.
You need to add in all the new people. You need to build like a brand new. You've learned a lot about how to play, so you should take all the new players and build a new place.
That's true.
That way you can start from go, and anybody that hasn't seen it before, they'll know right from go. I'd like to do that. I think that would be a fun one for next week. We should together and do one of those.
We should. That would be really fun. We should. Yeah. That's always Sims is always a good time.
Pink Rose, thanks for the 2. I'm always here. Love the show. Well, I'm glad you were here too. Appreciate it. You all make the show. You are the show. So thank you. Shifter Brains. Love it there. Thanks for the 2 there. August 16th, married 45 years. That's amazing. See, that by itself, I'm happy for people that find that connection. It's difficult to connect to people in life, and to connect that long and make it work. That's amazing. Props to you. Love to you and yours there. Rhea Ryan, thanks for finding. Myself and Mark, we've been together 41 years.
Wow.
That is great. On July the 3rd, my first boyfriend, his first girlfriend's keeper. Well, that's amazing,
wow,
man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for you.
It's a good feeling when you find somebody you actually like to be around, you know? It's always good.
Yeah, for sure.
Sassy, thanks for the 5. My husband, I'll be 25 years and we're divorcing. He asked for a divorce 5 years, and now he's trying to do an Uno reverse card. Oh, man, you know? Well, I don't know. You know, I don't know what to say. That sucks. You know, it sucks when they end. Sometimes it can be better. I don't know there, but 25
wait,
years, I hope they were good years.
I don't understand. So he
the
asked
universe.
for the divorce
So he
5 years
asked for
ago, and now he's trying
Now he
to
wants
get.
back.
He wants to back out of the divorce.
Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're telling? Like he wanted it, or he
Now he
wanted out,
doesn't?
and now a lot of people learn that lesson. By the way, you know, you see
I'm in
articles.
favor of keeping it together if you can keep it together.
Yeah.
So maybe he went crazy and now he's back.
Well, there are people out there that they think the grass is greener, or there's something.
Yep.
A lot of people buy into that, and they don't realize how lonely the world can be.
God,
You know
it can be it's so bad out there. Look at the dating pool and just watch that social catfish channel. I'm telling you, there's people get so lonely that they send their life savings to Nigerian scammers who tell them they're pretty. I mean, you don't want to be divorced if you can help it.
What was really disturbing about all of that too is that in order, you know, the Brad Pitt scammer, like that was so bad because the lady that went and gave them hundreds of thousands of dollars, all her money, she divorced her husband to go after this idea.
Oh, I know. I saw that one. God. Terrible.
Yeah. She divorced her husband. You know, they had a lot of money, so she ended up with quite a bit of money and ends up giving almost all of it to scammers because she thought one of them was Brad Pitt. And the pictures in it, oh man, I feel bad for people. At the same time, I thought, man, that's just a terrible person too.
Well, for sure. One of the comments on one of those that was very similar to that was, this woman is not what they said was, she is not a victim. She is paying for an immersive fan fiction experience. And that is a very good point. It's like at some point, these people know, unless they have some sort of severe dementia or mental disorder that causes them to not see this, they know deep down that these are not real people. But they want to keep paying because the experience is like a dopamine hit. It gives them a high, just like drugs. It gives them something. So they're paying for the experience, and they don't care that they're sending the money to scammers.
I don't understand how a person can honestly think that they run across one of these celebrities online, that this celebrity, I ran into a woman. I felt really bad for her because she got scammed, didn't do anything wrong. She was just being scammed, but she thought that she was talking to Johnny Depp.
Oh God, there's so many of those. Johnny Depp is a big one.
And she sent me, I was like, that you're not talking to Johnny Depp. She was like, how do you know? I was like, I know. I'm sure you were not talking to Johnny Depp. So she sent me over some of the channels. And I was like, well, first thing, they misspelled his name. It actually says Johnny Derp. It doesn't say Johnny Depp. Okay. It says Johnny Derp. But that's just, so maybe you should cut that right off the bat. But
oh no.
Derp. But Johnny Depp, I don't think he needs you to go out and to get iTunes gift cards for him, you know, so he can cash them in.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like these people these women who fall for these alleged celebrities, right? Mm-hmm. They know that they should not be sharing or giving money. They know that it makes no sense that a Hollywood star needs their money. Look at this. So this is the girl who thought she was talking to the actor from Stranger Things. Wait, where is he? Here, this guy. This guy. This girl, again, this girl thought she was talking to this guy and he was going to leave his Hollywood, you know, smoking hot model for her. Where is the self? I feel bad too, but where is the self-awareness? Where?
You know, it's a delusion. A lot of people are deluded that they think they want to live these you read you read some of these books that people pick up, you know, and you see where the delusion comes from. They think, man, I'm living whatever romance novels here, but that's not real life. It doesn't work that way, you know. And I feel
that is almost what is happening, and it's like they're paying to be in that romance novel. They've read too many romance novels, and now they want that experience. And life is sometimes disappointing, and life is not a romance novel. And so they're willing to pay for this experience. And I think most of them know they're being scammed. They know that these are not celebrities, but they just get caught up in it, and they don't want to. They just don't want the fantasy to end. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, girl, what you doing? Did you wake up?
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard you coming down the steps. Come here, give me a hug.
Yeah. And Sissy.
Hey, don't step on that. Turn around. Here, walk around it. Don't step on the scissors. Come here.
I'm glad not walk on scissors.
Yeah, don't walk on scissors.
You can jump over scissors, but not go on them.
Yeah, let's probably not try to jump over them either. Now, you need to go get some sleep, you know, because
Sissy's not asleep.
I know. Well, you can go tell Sissy she needs to get some sleep too, because we got to go. Remember, we're going to go out tomorrow. What are we doing tomorrow?
You go to the doctors, and I really want to go to Murfreesboro when you go.
Why do you want to go to Murfreesboro exactly?
To get to the candy shop.
The candy shop, of course. Why we want to go anywhere for this candy shops, of course.
Because I like candy.
Yes, I think people have gotten that impression.
What's the Hello Kitty candy in the candy shop in Murfreesboro?
You want the Hello Kitty candy? I don't remember what that stuff's called.
I call it Hello Kitty candy.
Well, it is. It's got a Hello Kitty brand on it. Yeah, I've been hearing that every time we go somewhere. Can we go to the candy shop there? I guess we probably can. You have been good today. You got to get sleep today, though, if you want to go to the candy shop.
What day is it?
What day? It is Thursday. It will be Friday tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yep.
My nail got stuck on my pants. I was going to scratch my leg, but look.
What are you talking about? What in the world were you talking about there?
This part, my nail.
Your nail was going to scratch your leg. I see you there. Look at that, man. Can you say thank you to Wyatt's Grammy, by the way?
Thank you, Wyatt's Grammy.
How much? What is that?
$1.
That's right at $2 right there.
Oh,
it says Candy Fund.
Candy Fund?
I know. What?
I always get Candy Fund every single time.
You do, man. Well, maybe people can read your mind.
$4.
Yep. Yeah, I guess since you're standing there, it doesn't matter what it says on it. That's yours, right?
Yeah,
that's actually $5. Can you say thank you to Sassy?
Thank you, Sassy.
Yeah, I guess that counts for you. Anyway. All right. Well, hey.
The nail got stuck in it. It did this.
Yeah. Well, you need to go get some sleep for real. Okay.
Love you.
I love you too. But if you're not rested up, you won't be able to go tomorrow.
After knock of Sissy stories, say go to sleep.
Yes, you can go tell Sissy to go to sleep too. Okay.
What if Mom wakes up?
Well, you go and tell everybody to get sleep. Okay.
Everyone, even Mom.
You tell everybody in the world. You tell the TV. You tell the stuffed animals. You know. You tell everybody. Oh, look, wheat toast there. Can you say thank you, wheat toast?
Thank you, wheat toast.
That's how much is that?
$10.
$10, and it says more candy for you. $10. That's actually pretty good. By the way,
$5.
Yeah, that's Raya. Can you say happy birthday, Mark?
Happy birthday, Mark.
Yeah. Do you want to sing happy birthday real quick?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mark.
Just Mark, yeah. Happy birthday to you. That's perfect. I loved it.
Can I have a hug?
Yes, you can have a hug, but you gotta go upstairs.
So if I slapped you with my nail.
No, you're good. You didn't slap you with your nail.
I don't want to slap you with my nail.
Be careful, okay? But hey, go lay down so we can go tomorrow for sure. Okay? Hey, by the way, hey, Aussie Wombat sent you $15, by the way.
Thank you.
Can you say thank you, Aussie Wombat?
Thank you, Aussie Wombat.
It sounded like Aussie Walmart.
It did.
That was good, actually. That's good. I've never heard you try to say wombat. That was pretty good, to be honest. All right.
Wombat.
Yeah. That's hard to say, isn't it? Yes, I see your karate moves.
No,
I'm seeing
trying
karate
to do
moves.
it from the game, you know.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. I saw you try not to kick the game. That's pretty good. All right.
I love you.
I love you too. You go sleep. Love you.
Sissy to go to sleep for.
Oh, yes. Tell Sissy to go to sleep too, of course. All right. So let's see. I've got to wake up the screen. They're better. I had just woke up and I was switching. I was making sure that I didn't miss that. So Sassy, actually, I saw that comment come in. So we'll get some clarification there. Just J-Hip. Thanks for the tip. Penny saver lawyer. Yeah, that's what you always go for. You know?
A penny saver lawyer. I love it.
I love it too. That's perfect there. Wheat toast, by the way. Thanks for the fun. Had to get some lips from a Muppet. Look at that. That's funny. Look at the Muppet on there. That is so funny. I love it. Man, Joe, thanks for the tune there. You call it big lips. I call it flat tires. Well, yep. One person's lips is another person's deflated inner tubes. I get you. I hear you. Dan Davis, thanks for the 5 there. You need to have a hand Muppet stream for all the players. A hand Muppet stream. I need to, what I need to do is do a call for anybody else that needs Muppets again. You know, I think I need to do that. What's up, 2012? Thanks for the 2. Y'all have checked messages. Yeah, I've been pretty delinquent on my checking messages. It's been a crazy week. So, it's been a mess there. Sassy, thanks for the 2. Yes, the live stream doesn't do it justice. Hey, thank you, by the way, Sassy. I appreciate you. Here's the answer, too, we were asking for. So he asked every day for the last 5 years until 3 months ago. But he won't quit drinking or being abused. Oh, no, you don't need that. When he drinks, is abusive, so I'm done. Yeah, indeed. You don't need that. For sure.
Yeah. No.
You know? Yeah, that's the thing. Like that, you know, when substance gets a hold of people.
Yeah, that's really tough.
Yeah, you have to bail.
That's why I say you stay married if you possibly can.
Yes,
but that's not a situation where you possibly can. No.
Abuse doesn't.
That's not included. No. Sorry to hear about that. That's really rough.
For sure. You make sure that you're safe in there.
I've known people who were so close, and alcohol got a hold of one of them, and it just destroyed everything. Just destroyed everything. Just destroyed who the person was, and just very tough. Very, very tough.
That's what we were, like I said, dealt with that. But, luckily, a lot of times people don't come back for that, but, I mean,
and it's a real blessing and a miracle when they do, and that should be celebrated for sure.
Well, it's hard for people to get away from that, especially alcohol is so insidious because it's everywhere, Like you can't just walk, like the drugs themselves, like say you're addicted to prescription medication. Well, with that, you can have it cut off, the same thing with anything, but alcohol is just there. And it is so hard to get away from. So a lot of people, unfortunately, they have to want it. They have to really want it, and they have to value everything else. So ultimately, if they don't want it enough, it's either you or that. And it's not a hard choice, but sometimes, they have to really buckle down and make a real choice. So you're making the right decision. Rhea Ryan, thanks for the 5 there. I really do talk to the real James boy, but I still get the fakes trying to chat me. Crazy times. Yeah, indeed. It was funny when even Adam Waldman, Deb's lawyer, he ended up getting these fakes. And it was really funny because when I'd talked to him, now this hadn't come out yet because, I made contact and he started getting big on Twitter. He gotten in some arguments with Amber Heard and her lackeys. But I had 3 fake Adam Waldman accounts contact me trying to scam. And I was like, yeah, I know they're not real. How do I know? I wonder. I talked to the real one. I thought that was pretty funny. Let's see. I got, again, thank you, Wheat Toast. Thank you to Aussie Wombat. Janine, thank you for the super sticker there. That is awesome of you. Much appreciated too. Love the super stickers. And El Lou, thanks for the 14 months. Appreciate Tug and Megan. Always entertaining. Yes, Mug for Life. MFL. That sounds like some profanity, doesn't it? MFL.
It does.
I thought you were actually writing something like I was going to come with a middle finger or something. I was like, oh, that makes sense. All right, folks. Well, again, tomorrow, if I'm back in time, I will have a stream. If not, I'll probably kick up Saturday. But we will pick it up next week again. It was fun. Appreciate you, man.
It was fun.
Yeah. And
You too.
we are ending. See you, folks.
Bye.